Bushnell. Performance is the only thing. Federal Premium Ammunition, surgical precision, terminal results. Savage Arms. Better come standard.
Hi folks, thanks for joining us here at Bushnell's Trigger Effect. This week we've got a really special hunt planned for you. We're in Northern Manitoba. We're going on a do-it-yourself moose hunt, and I've been waiting for this one for quite a while.
We've been planning it for quite a while. It hasn't worked out.
No.
Always been something on the go, but finally got the chance, so can't wait to get there. It's time for us to get a big moose.
Yeah, we've got a few more miles to make it to Thompson, then we're flying in from there to a remote lake, so you're not going to want to miss this. It's going to be some great moose hunting action. I have spent the majority of my adult life as a professional big game guide throughout the most remote parts of Canada's wilderness. I have guided for sheep, goat, caribou, grizzly, and many more. However, I have to admit, I absolutely love moose hunting during the rut. Flying in that morning over some of Manitoba's most beautiful moose habitat, I couldn't help but feel the raw emotion come to the surface. I am once again home, in the remote wilderness, up against one of Canada's true adversaries, the Canadian moose. Well, we made it to our destination. Beautiful day to set up camp. We've got some scrubbing to do. We've got all the gear here, the boat's pumped up. I think it's going to be a good day. We're going to get the camp set up and maybe go for a hunt this evening.
Yeah, we saw some fish jumping, so yeah, we're in a good spot.
Just taking a little bit of break after we've offloaded the plane, get our camp all straightened around, and we're off to the moose.
We're going. It's going to be good.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's a beautiful spot. Beautiful spot here.
What's going on?
Building moose camp throne for a king. Even on the frosty mornings, it's gentle and warm to the touch. Well, as you can see, we got our camp set up. We got a great location here overlooking the lake. It's been a beautiful day for setting up camp, hasn't it, Trent?
Yeah, we did a lot of work. It's good.
Yeah, we got a lot done. We got an outhouse built. We got camp put up. We got a cooking area set up. We got most of our gear unpacked. We're going to go for a little recon on the lake. We've never hunted here before, so we're going to go head out and we'll see if we can't spot something and maybe catch some fish for supper tomorrow.
Find the lay of the lake.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah, you bet. So we're going to take the camera with us because you never know. We could just come across that big one. So.
Yep. Having a coffee right now.
Yeah, warming up.
Pretty chilly.
Yeah. This lake is just full of little islands and little bays and stuff like this. We've got a great spot right back here. We're going to do some calling. We just came in nice and slow. It's been about 5 minutes since we got here, so it's nice and quiet. We'll see what happens. here we go, our first morning out here on our moose camp. We've got a bit of an east wind, so that means we've probably got a little bit of weather coming in. It's going to be a little overcast today, but that's perfect for spotting those big old antlers along the edge of the lake. So we're just heading up to the north part of the lake. It's looking good. Experienced a little bit of outboard motor problems. So we've come to shore. We're going to see if we can't do some backwoods mechanicking here.
This segment is brought to you by Westside Stores, your outdoor sports authority, and Safari Club International Canada, first for hunters.
Well, it looks like we might have averted disaster.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. We did a little bit of tuning up with the motor, got it back on the boat, so we're going to head back out on the lake and get it back after these moose.
It did start.
Yeah. We were enjoying a great day of moose hunting, hiking, glassing, taking in the scenery. And then...
Yeah, you know what's going on? That motor we were working on didn't work. So we're just trying to get back to base camp for ourselves, I guess. And we're trying to round up a motor to come out of Thompson on the plane. Hopefully somebody can bring us one, because this is no way to hunt moose. No way at all.
1 horsepower.
1 horsepower.
Maybe half a horse.
Pony.
Yeah.
A burro.
A little Shetland pony with a bum leg. It's gonna be a long day because we got as far away from camp as we could when the motor decided to fail. So it's just Murphy's Law. Well, we made it back to camp. It was about 2 to 2.5 hours of rowing. We've got the old motor taken off. Trent's just on the sat phone right now trying to make arrangements to have another motor sent in. So it looks like we're kind of stuck for this evening's hunt to just basically doing some calling right close to camp here. Well, it's another great morning here at Moose Camp. Sun's just coming up. We're having a quick bite for breakfast, some coffee. Probably head back out on the lake here, row around, see if we can't track down a moose.
Just when we're thinking that there's no hope. Yeah, finally, we just heard the quietest of grunt after one of Ken's calls, so try to get a little bit closer.
It's gonna come out through that dark timber.
He's moving our way. We can hear his antlers tickling on the trees. Heard him walking in some water, so we're hoping that he just comes on this point to have a look at us. And if he does, and he's a decent bull, I'm gonna hammer him.
He's coming now.
He's just working through the woods. I think he's trying to get down and get our scent before he commits to coming out. We're just getting close, and we keep hearing him. He's skirting through the timber, so it's a patience game. and Kent called a couple, dragged the scapula, and we heard the bull deeper in the timber. Now, unless there's two, but it sounds like he's working his way around again. He's not far away. Maybe we'll get lucky and he'll come here to look at us. The wind isn't actually ideal for that. But he's got us pinned here for now, doesn't he?
I think we had 2 bulls and a cow. We didn't see any of them, but there was a big, heavy, deep grunted bull that sounded like he had lots of antlers when he was going through the trees. He was the most active one right at the start.
Yeah, that's one of the first start. You're going to hear a lot of grunting from him.
Yeah. Then I think what happened was he had a cow with him, and there was another bull coming from a distance that we couldn't hear. And the cow started to leave, and we couldn't figure out why the bull was coming close to us and then leaving, and we followed them kind of all the way along the edge of the lake here. There's another lake in behind us here.
Yep.
I think that's where they went to, so we're gonna load up and boat around and see if we can't get a look at these guys. As Trent and I were sitting on the shoreline after our encounter with the bull moose, we had a conversation around what species of moose we were hunting. I told Trent we were hunting the Western Canadian moose, but in fact, there's actually 4 subspecies of moose in Canada. Technically, a species is a population or group of populations that can potentially interbreed freely in and amongst itself. This is a naturally occurring concept. Now, a subspecies is a subgroup in a species that has a different trait, and this is defined by scientists.
Okay, species versus subspecies. If we're talking about moose, everybody's familiar with what a moose looks like. Largest of the deer family, really large set of antlers, palmate antlers. But what a lot of people don't realize is that there are subspecies of that particular animal.
Distinguishing between species and subspecies can be difficult. Most people can identify species. However, defining subspecies can be hazy and subjective.
Right, so if we look at the North American moose, which has a large distribution across the northern portions of North America, dipping down to the northern portions of the US as well, we can all recognize that as a moose. However, if you look at a range map across that distribution, doesn't mean they live in every single aspect of that, darkened out area. They live in small little habitable areas. And after evolutionary time periods, they get adapted to the local conditions, right? For example, the weather extremes. What is, the coldest winter temperature, the hottest summer temperatures? What kind of food is available seasonally or year round?
Biology uses a classification system called taxonomy. Now, the basic unit of taxonomy is species. Species are grouped together into genus. Genus is then grouped together into families, and so on all the way up to the grouping domain.
So as a result, we end up with 4 different subspecies of moose here in North America. The largest being the Alaskan Yukon subspecies, living up north. Very large animals. They have to be very robust to deal with those conditions. The biggest distribution of the subspecies would be your Canadian moose, or also called the Western moose, which kind of covers most of Canada, moving into portions there of Ontario, where you switch over now to a different subspecies of moose called the Eastern moose, which is the 3rd smallest of the subspecies, and it dips down into the Maritimes and also into portions of northern Maine and Vermont, those particular regions. And the smallest subspecies, kind of really unique, is the Shiras moose, which you find in the southern portions of the Rockies of BC and Alberta, moving into the northern states there of the Rocky Mountains. And that is the smallest subspecies. If you bring them all together, we would all recognize them as a moose. However, if you look more closely at these species, you can tell some of the differences between them. So hence, they are still a moose, but they are subspecific moose. Well, it's another morning here in Moose Camp. What a stellar morning.
Fantastic again.
Yeah, we're just getting the boat loaded up. We thought we heard a bull grunting off to the side here, so we scrambled, got everything in the boat, and we're heading over to the far side to do some calling.
Yep.
See if we can't bring him in and get a look.
Hopefully. So we're just rowing, and Ken says, "What's that? What's that?" And we listen, it's a strange sound. We've decided that it's bulls fighting. We're gonna go see if we can find him, have a look.
It's definitely a couple bulls fighting.
Just heard them again.
Just heard them again. We can hear one grunting. They're a bit of a distance from us right now. But we know around the corner of the point here is a bit of a bay. We might be able to draw them into there or get a look at least one of them. So I got Trent, the heavy horsepower, the big 4-stroke.
I'm on full throttle.
He's on full throttle right now.
This segment is brought to you by Gold Tip. Start tough, stay true. Taxidermy services provided by Hunters Union and Ray Weens Taxidermy. And thanks to these other fine sponsors.
Yes.
Manitoba moose.
Manitoba moose.
And here's the great thing. There's camp.
Yeah, we're pretty sure the bull is down, but I don't know if you can see behind us here how thick that bush is. It's just tight sticks. So, I might have a little trouble filming. Gonna let Trent go ahead. I'll make sure that this bull is down and anchored. I'm pretty confident on it. He sounded like he crashed.
Yep.
So
This is I gotta get in there.
let's go get him.
What do you call that game where all those little sticks are stacked up?
Pixie sticks.
We're playing that game right now.
Where is he?
Right here.
Oh yeah. Oh boy, buddy. We got some chainsawing to do.
Yeah, we got some chainsaw. Well, here he is.
You know what? Might be easier to chainsaw straight across. Well, congratulations, Trent.
Thanks. Thank
It
you.
was some good work this morning.
Yeah, I'm pretty tickled. This is my first moose kill ever. Yeah, it's fantastic. Good friend out here doing it. That's perfect.
Yeah, I mean, we struggled the first few days, had motor troubles, had a hard time finding the moose, but I think the rut's turned on now. They were really talking to us yesterday and this morning, so got this big guy down, and now we're going to have some fresh moose meat in camp.
Yep. Moose meat tonight.
Attaboy.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations, Trent.
Thanks, Ken.
Oh. Because moose hunting, it's a lot of fun, but it's a lot of work. I mean, that's only 25 yards. Bull died 25 yards in the trees, but it's about an hour of sawing and removing brush. But now we've got a clear trail to get the meat down to the lake, get it hung up in camp. Trent will have a freezer full of good victuals. There you go, Trenter.
What do you see?
That's your first Manitoba moose.
That's the first Manitoba moose.
Well, we got everything back to camp. The meat's hung.
Yep, the meat's hung, not a moment too soon by the looks of it. You can see the weather.
Yeah, we're starting to get some snow. It might be an ugly night, so I'm glad we got them when we did. Boat's been washed out. Got some firewood hauled in. Got most of our camp chores. Now it's just a hot meal and go sit in the warm tent.
Cup of coffee coming up right away.
Yeah. Well, congratulations, Trent. That's a
Thanks,
nice
buddy.
moose.
Thank you.
You bet. That is a beautiful piece of meat. Just trimming off some of the fats and the silver skin. Gonna cut it into thin steaks, batter it, quickly sear it with some potatoes and carrots and onions tonight. Living pretty large here in Moose Camp. Congratulations on a great moose. That
Thanks,
was a lot of fun. We're definitely going to do this again.
Yep.
We also want to thank all our sponsors, all you, the viewers, and make sure you join us next week for more Bushnell's Trigger Effect.
Although I have hunted moose most of my life, being a part of Trent's first moose was real special. But most of all, spending time with a true friend in such amazing country, those will be memories of a lifetime.